All right, welcome everybody to the Don't Overthink It podcast. I got my boy Darian Chill here with me today. ChillTakes from Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. My name is Brett James on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube as well. We got some NFL topics lined up today. The first weekend of Wild Card Weekend in the NFL just finished up. We gave our predictions last week in our first ever podcast. Now we're going to be going through, and I'll go through the topics in which we'll be discussing, and we'll go from the top. We're going to be talking about the Bengals and the Raiders really quickly, about the type of season that they've had. Josh Allen and the New England Patriots and how Buffalo was able to dominate them. Eagles and the Buccaneers game. Maybe a little bit of the future of Jalen Hurts, and also how great Byron Leftwich his offense looked. Dallas in that huge meltdown in which they had versus the 49ers at home. We'll talk about the controversial play at the end and if Mike McCarthy's actually going to return next season as the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And then we'll kind of finish up giving our predictions for round 2 of the NFL wild card or divisional round. The divisional round for the playoffs. So all right, without further ado, man, let's briefly talk about that Bengals game, man, and the kind of season that they've had.
Yeah, I think last year I talked about it. I said they kind of remind me of the 2017 Jaguars, but this time around it was the offense, right? I think the Jaguars at that time were known for the defense of Saxonville and whatnot, but like the second half of the season, man, for the Bengals, that offense has been lights out. You know, they showed it during that game. Now they almost did blow it at the end. You know what I'm saying? Those playoff bumps almost came back up, but they figured it out. The refereeing was terrible too.
Oh, I mean, they're out for the rest of the playoffs. We saw that. We saw the horrible officiating and that inadvertent whistle that ended up probably costing them. Yeah,
the whistle. Also, I'm on the flip side of that. The Bengals were trying to hurry up offense, and the Raiders had 12 men on the field. And they had a first down pass to Jamar Chase that got him in the red zone, but they said Casey Hayward called a timeout. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't run the play. Yeah. So they came back. So it was you can't break the huddle with more than 12 men on the field. Yeah.
You're not even allowed to have 12 men in the huddle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's on refereeing yet again.
Yeah.
But I think it was just incredible, and I briefly mentioned this last week. Just the type of season that they've had, like you said. This Bengals team was very reminiscent of the 2017 Jags, just on the offensive side this time, but the Raiders, man, and everything that they've gone through. And then, I'm sure you did as well, saw the post on ESPN, interim head coach in the Cincinnati hotel. Handwriting each player a note. That's awesome, man. I mean, you don't see guys doing that for each other, too. And this guy probably deserves at least an interview for the next head coaching job for the Raiders, but I hope he gets it, especially considering how things transpired this year with that organization.
It all depends. I know I talked to I didn't talk to physically, but when I'll go on live my ChillTakes on TikTok, I had a lot of Raider fans that are a fan of my page, and I asked them, how they feel about their head coach, and they think they kind of want a new head coach, just a new fresh face, a new voice around the whole team. They did fire Mike Mayock, so
GM's gone now. We saw that.
So I think whoever the GM is, he'll be making a head coach hire. So I think they're gonna take their time with it. There's a lot of the coordinators that are in position to get head coaching jobs are still coaching right now in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think they need to get a fresh face.
They probably do, but I think just for their due diligence, they definitely give them an opportunity. Considering everything that happened this year, the way he kept that locker room together, and Derek Carr, keeping things together. And I mean, they got that huge win at Dallas on Thanksgiving, and then they had another critical win. Was it versus the Chargers in overtime? Week 18. So I mean, they've pulled out wins where they've needed them. They've obviously kept up. So, they'll get their due diligence with him. But, good season for the Bengals so far. Hopefully they can continue to develop and get better. But Raiders, good season for them as well.
Yeah, I think if Darren Bevel can get an interview, I'm pretty sure this head coach can get an interview for. I forgot his name. What is his name again?
Darrell Bevell?
No, the head coach for the interim head coach for the Raiders.
Oh, I'm losing it right now. I didn't write it down. I'm losing it.
For whoever his name is, the head coach for the Raiders, the intern should definitely get an interview. He should be at least the top 3 candidate right now.
Oh, he should be, especially going into it. That should be an attractive job too. Out in Vegas. I mean, they've got a decent amount of good players on that squad as well too.
Well, this is obviously the centerpiece.
Centerpiece is Derek Carr, and then it's build everything else around that.
Yeah. I do want to say one thing before we move on.
What's up?
I think the situational football for Derek Carr needs to be talked about. I understand he's never played in a playoff game, you know. But if you watch that fourth quarter drive, I mean, it was just like inconsistent and just like incompetent at times. I mean, like
it's his first game.
It's his first game, but he's like a 10-year vet. You know,
nah. He was the same class as Bortles.
So what? He's like a 9-year vet. 7?
No, Bortles was
14.
2014. He was a rookie. Bortles was a rookie. So I mean, he's 8th year in.
You gotta know. I mean, I feel like you should know like situational football. I mean, like you drive down the field, you take a bad sack. You know, you get into the red zone.
Yeah.
You're not looking at your number one target in Darren Waller. You didn't target him at all.
It was crazy
at all after that third down and like 3rd and 20 conversion. You didn't target Darren Waller at all. You didn't even attempt to throw it to the red zone at the very end. He threw it to the flats like before. It was just, you know, just situational football.
Yeah,
it needs to be better for him.
He definitely has another shot, I think, at least with the Raiders, to prove his worth. But let's not forget, man, Blake Bortles has got more playoff wins than Derek Carr. Just telling facts at this point.
Blake Bortles has more playoff wins than Derek Carr, Matt Stafford,
and
Dak
Prescott,
Kirk Cousins, Lamar Jackson, Andy Dalton, Carson Wentz. And I don't know if I said Baker Mayfield already, but Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, you spitting, bro. You spitting.
Yeah, I did a video about it yesterday, so I was like, yeah, man, like, put some respect on
yesterday, bro. I didn't even see that.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. It's like he has like that's pretty good.
That's
man. Why I said.
Guess who else? Who else?
You'd never guess.
Stop. Hold on. Let me take a. Blake Bortles got more playoff wins than ex quarterback. Is he still playing?
Technically.
The hell does that mean? All right, hold up. Obviously, it ain't no big man. Who is it?
Deshaun Watson.
Man, stop, bro.
I swear he has more playoff wins than him. Yep, he has more playoff wins than Deshaun Watson.
Watson got the one over the Bills. And Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen was a sophomore, I think.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And then he lost to the Chiefs when they were up 24-0. I was at Miller's watching that game, and damn,
that's crazy.
The boat got more playoff wins than half the league. It feels like in terms of quarterbacks, man.
Low key, he does. Yeah, so shout out to Blake, shout out to the boat.
Yeah, he deserves to be in the league, man.
I don't know about that, but
he should be in the league. He should be in the league.
I just play,
Hey, shout out to come on, man. Yeah, shout out. Yo, Mac Jones. You see that throwback picture? He was rocking a Blake Bortles jersey.
He was.
Yeah, bro. He had a picture of him at like him and his boys at bowls, and he's sitting there rocking.
Oh,
a Bortles
I thought it was like at the game or something like that. He pulled to. I'm about to say that would be hard.
I mean, he's a Bulls kid. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he's a I was a big Bortles fan.
Oh, you were?
I was, and he was too. You know what I'm saying? So I respect Mac Jones for that. But
I feel you.
All right, let's go on. Speaking of Mac Jones, to the New England game. New England and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, what a dominant performance. A complete opposite game from what we saw. What was it? Just a couple weeks back. And New England only attempted 3 pass attempts in that regular season matchup. Ended up winning the game. And I mean, the Bills dominated. And that's to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of would have had a taste for that game a little bit when they faced each other at the end of the season in New England. They blew them out that game. That's when Stephon Diggs did the little FU thing. They beat them bad that game, and then coming into the season, okay, well, coming to this game, you're kind of like, okay, well, maybe Bill Belichick can really lock in. And it seemed literally after that first interception Mac Jones threw, that the Michael Hyde picked off
downhill.
It was nice.
I mean, that was an amazing throw. I'll give that was
beautiful
a
throw.
Dime, but that is just a better play. By
That's
Michael
an
Hyde.
all-pro safety making a play.
Yeah, Michael Hyde actually, what was it when they lost that game in that interview? He was so salty, but he got his revenge. He got his revenge, you know. And I mean, what? I think they said the wind chills were like -5. Wind gusts were horrible. I mean, it was the same type of weather. Yeah. You know, I don't know if the weather was as windy as it was. Like it was 50 miles an hour.
It was terrible back when
it was horrible, but it was still bad regardless. But I knew Buffalo. I had Buffalo winning this game. I knew Buffalo was going to win this game. But I mean, just credit to them and credit to Bill Belichick for getting his 7-9 team from last year with a rookie quarterback now this year to the playoffs. They had definitely a much better season, but Mac Jones hit his rookie wall. It was bound to happen. It was long overdue. It was it just needed to happen, and it did. His only good game towards the lighter end of the season was definitely against Jacksonville.
Absolutely,
but that's not saying much. So otherwise, I mean, New England still got a bright future. Matthew Judon, I mean, they got a great team. Hunter Henry, all these guys. So
I would say one thing about the Patriots right now. Before we talk about Josh Allen's performance, I mean, of course, with Bill Belichick, I think the future's always going to be bright with him. Right? I mean, he has a rookie quarterback. He showed the tools, what he can do. As long as he can keep Josh McDaniels there, I think he'll be fine. They do have a lot of free agents to sign this year. In the offseason, they have to bring back Trent Brown, J.C. Jackson.
J.C. Jackson's a big one. That's going to be the big one on the market.
Yeah, so
the Jacksonville J.C.
And if anything, I think Trent might slide.
You think?
I can see Trent sliding.
We'll have to see, man.
Not
with our GM. Not with our GM.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, they got a lot of pieces to sign. Dante Howard, they're probably gonna let him go because he's older now.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, man. The Bills are the king of the AFC East.
Oh, they are running away with the AFC East from here on out. I wouldn't declare that if Brian Flores was still in Miami. Mm-hmm. I would give Brian Flores a legit shot, but Buffalo is going to run away with this division for the next.
It's going to be a new regime.
5 years at least. Unless, some unforeseen circumstances happen, But even Mac Jones and, how game manager he can be.
Yeah.
Like, New England can only go so far with the solid,
I mean, even
he'll get better.
Even Brady had to stop being a game manager at some point, right?
Yeah, they had to, take over.
Yeah, either they won those games based off their very elite defense, or towards the end of his career with the Patriots, they started having better offenses, right? Yeah. They had the Gronks, they had the the Julian Edelmans,
Danny Amendola, all the 5'9" white guys out of Walmart, picking up off the streets.
All the Wisconsin and NC State running backs they had, James White, and so yeah, they were definitely an offensive team towards the end of that career for Brady.
Yeah, but let's talk quickly about Josh Allen, the lesser of Josh Allens in the NFL. But I mean, that Josh Allen, the lesser of two, definitely put on a performance to say none the least.
I gotta say one more thing about Josh. One thing is that game he had more incompletions than touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He had 5 touchdowns and he went 21 for 25. Mm-hmm. And they called that man the Winter Soldier. That's a hard nickname.
Yeah, Winter Soldier, man. That's crazy.
When I heard that, I was like, "Wow!"
Yeah,
that's
and shout out to Bills Mafia, man, for actually pulling up in -5 weather. Man, we down here in Florida, man. I would be I'm watching that on TV.
Who was up there shirtless?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, there you
Ryan
go.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
I'm that's the most Ryan Fitzpatrick thing I've ever seen, man. But I mean, look, we'll get into the Kansas City matchup versus Buffalo towards the end of this show, but I mean, Josh Allen is, I think, a top 5 solidified quarterback. I don't want to hear nothing about Dak Prescott. I don't want to hear anything about all these guys that are kind of floating around. I mean, Lamar Jackson definitely in the mix, but
him.
I think Josh Allen is a solidified top 5 quarterback in this league. He got his second playoff win? That's his
third.
It's probably his third.
Because he won 2 times. Well, he beat the he beat the Ravens, I know for sure. He beat the Ravens. He beat, who was his first match? Or no, they had a bye last year.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was 2.
Okay, so he might be going to his third win.
Well, now the Chiefs actually had a bye because they didn't go on the road. Because the Chiefs.
So who did they face last year?
So that's his third playoff win. I can't remember, but that's definitely his third playoff win. Mm-hmm. But I mean, shout out to Josh Allen and the Bills, man. It's just nice seeing teams that haven't been great for so long finally get turning around and going in the right direction. It's the same thing with Cincinnati.
Colts.
It was the Colts, you're right. Yeah. Yep, it was Phillip Rivers and them.
Yeah.
I was actually at the internship with the Iceman watching that in the locker room, and we were all like, oh my God, Phillip Rivers is going to go down the field, and it didn't happen.
Yeah,
and they're like, hey, Carson Wentz will get us over the hump. Yeah. That's for sure. Loses to the Jags.
Just
lying to themselves. But, I mean, hey, shout out to Bills Mafia again. I definitely respect their fans. One thing I will say, though, is y'all never kind of come to Jacksonville and get a dub. It's just facts at this point.
We handled it.
And we got the better Josh Allen. So that's just keeping it real. But all right, man, let's go on to the Eagles and Buccaneers now. But we'll really be talking about Byron Leftwich because, we're Jaguar fans. We want him in the head coaching mix. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about briefly the Eagles and their performance. I mean, they struggled mightily in this game. I mean, what was it, 15-31, I think the final score.
It was a blowout.
And it was 31-0 when I stopped watching. And then, Jalen Hurts got some garbage time points and whatnot. But, I want you to talk about that game a little bit first.
I'm kind of worried about Jalen Hurts a little bit. During that game, I think he just showed his inability to really progress and process the defense. Because I don't think the Buccaneers did anything special. I just think that Todd Bowles said, hey, we know you're the number 1 running team. We're going to stop the run. We're going to have you beat us. And he couldn't even do it. He couldn't get past the 50 at sometimes, man. I mean, he just has the inability to process a defense, man. Yeah. And you kind of saw that during his time with Alabama. That's where he kind of had that Tua and Hurts battle during their collegiate career.
He got benched, was in the national championship game before Tua took over.
Yeah, he got benched, in the national championship game. And then Luckily, he went to Oklahoma, kind of redeemed himself, became a draftable quarterback because this time in Alabama he wasn't draftable, in my opinion.
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah, so Lincoln Riley helped. Yeah, Lincoln Riley helped him out. And I think he's still good, but I think he really has to lock in this offseason. I mean, I think Sirianni's a good coach.
No, Nick Sirianni's a really good coach.
So I mean, they have the talent, they have the receivers. Mm-hmm. He got to really lock in, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
and speaking of receivers, though, they didn't get Devontae Smith the ball. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I'm sitting here in the first half, I'm like, you're not even trying to get Devontae Smith the ball. Open. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, you drafted this guy number 10 overall, who's been one of the better rookie receivers. He couldn't compete with Waddle and Chase this year. I mean, but that's no discredit to him. Devontae's still a great receiver. So I'm like, you got to get these guys open. But of Jalen Hurts, I'm not so much worried about him, but his anticipation and processing, that's the big thing with him. Mm-hmm. But I think what Nick Sirianni needs to do is actually build an offense around him and understand you're not going to have 4 verticals offense where you're throwing the ball 15 20 yards down the field consistently. You need to have an RPO type of offense schemed around Jalen Hurts, something similar to Lamar Jackson, and utilize his ability to run, but also he can throw.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's not consistent, and you want to see him this offseason get better at that.
It's processing, what I'm saying? Scan, kind of what we saw with Trevor this year. I mean, I think Trevor has all the tutelage to be a great quarterback in the league, but you can tell his processing, reading defense wasn't there this year at all at times. So, but like I said, I think Sirianni is a good coach.
And this was his first real year starting.
Yeah. He also had a couple injuries that kind of held him out, the crunch time games.
Minshew came in,
Yeah, so, I mean, they have 3 first-round picks. They can build around him.
They better utilize those and hit on him.
Yeah, and if they don't want to, if it doesn't work out, they can get Bryce Young and DJ Ugalele or CJ Stroud next year. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
they got a bright future.
They got a bright future. Yeah, they weren't supposed to be there. No. At the end of the day,
they were projected to be a 4 or 5 win team by ESPN, BR, you name it.
They exceed expectations. If you're an Eagles fan out there, man, I would have been happy, regardless of what happened.
I mean, they knew they were losing this game, but they're like, hey, we got to the playoffs. Yeah. We did something right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's transition on to the Buccaneers side of things, though. Buccaneers came out, dominated this game. It just felt like Tom Brady dink and dunk. And it works. I mean, you're not getting any pressure on Tom Brady. He's going to pick you apart in 2.1 seconds the time he gets the ball out of his hands. Mm-hmm. Great job by him. Byron Leftwich, I love seeing. Granted, it's the Eagles defense, but I like seeing what he was doing. It was a banged up team. Yeah, and I mean it sucks. Speaking of banged up, Tristan Wirfs and their starting center as well, I think, went out.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Ryan Jensen, I think, maybe something like that.
I'm losing it off the top of my head. But I mean, those are 2 big. Yeah, and we'll talk about those a little bit later on when we get into that preview matchup with the Rams. But I mean, Buccaneers took care of business. They beat an inferior opponent, as they should at home. Mm-hmm. I mean, nothing really crazy. I don't think,
Yeah, I just like the way Byron used his team. Everybody's trying to doubt him and say, we got to really see what Byron's about with
without AB,
Godwin, no AB, no Ronald Jones, no Fournette. Yeah. Yep. But, Giovanni Bernard was hooping. He played good. I mean,
just right out of the backfield every single time.
The other running back, Kavon, he played pretty good. Got
a touchdown.
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski got a touchdown. I mean, with Brady at the helm, you're gonna be good. And also, I gotta give credit, once again, to Byron Leftwich, bro. He just smooth operation.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly what I think a lot of Jaguar fans want to see here in Jacksonville. Yeah. But good game by Buccaneers, good game by Leftwich, and good game plan. Hopefully, if they can take advantage of that, because they scored 24 last time they played the Rams, but. Mm-hmm. Now we're actually going to get into the Dallas game. This is going to be a big, huge portion of this podcast, probably for a while. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about the game, that last controversial play, quote-unquote controversial, and then Mike McCarthy possibly returning. Let's talk about the game first, just in its totality, right? Final score was 17-23. 49ers came out on top. Dallas was the only team in wildcard weekend to lose at home and was also favored to win by the betting odds and still lost. I mean, it was only 3.5, but still favorites. And I think on paper, you would agree, Dallas is a better team.
Absolutely.
Dallas, record-wise, is a better team. Dallas has a plethora of talent, even without Michael Gallup there, to beat a San Francisco 49ers team. But the 49ers, I picked them to win. And I think a lot of people did.
I picked Dallas. I had Dallas making a deep run, so I was wrong.
I mean, Dallas's true colors are just going to show when it's, needed,
I mean, oh my goodness, I can go everywhere with this game, but
that's the whole point, man.
The biggest thing I've noticed with this Dallas Cowboys team, the two things, right? They came out unprepared, right? Kyle Shanahan came out that first drive, drove it down the field, did his typical run heavy style, play action, stuff like that.
10 yards every single run.
Punched them in the mouth. That was a wake up call. They didn't respond. They got knocked down on the canvas and they couldn't get back up. They were stumbling the whole fight.
Yep.
To the very end, where there's some more fight because 49ers definitely tried to give that game back to them. But it didn't. It goes into my another point is they're undisciplined, man. I mean, they lead the league in turnovers, right? And
turnover differential,
and also penalties.
Yep.
So most importantly, like what I'm saying, with the undisciplined play. You might not notice it during the football regular season. It's 17 games,
especially when they win 12 of them. You're going to kind of push it aside. You're like, oh, it's okay, you're winning though.
Your wrongs, your skeletons in your closet will always come up in the playoffs, right?
Yep.
It will get exposed by better teams and better, well-coached teams. Dallas isn't a well-coached team.
No, they're not.
They have 15 penalties. 13 of them at least came in the fourth quarter. I promise you.
Yeah.
Just maybe not to that extent, but still,
right.
It was just undisciplined football.
It was hands to the face.
Oh my goodness!
It was what they had. I think at one point they had, because I know they had 3 penalties in the fourth quarter just on the defensive line.
Yeah.
But they also had 2 pre-snap penalties in the fourth quarter as well. I think on the offensive line, it was just they had. I don't know if it was in the fourth. They had one play where they got that false start called on them, and then before they still got the snap, they got another false start. It was like, how do you do that in your home stadium?
Yeah, that was the drive after halftime.
So it was the third quarter. I knew it was second half, but I couldn't remember if it was third or fourth quarter.
Came out second half, drove down the field, got some good yardage, back-to-back false starts. Had the point.
Yep, and they were kind of in field goal range. They were like the 35, 40-ish, and they did it. But my thing is, with the Cowboys, I wouldn't even say they're necessarily bad coached, because Dan Quinn is getting head coaching interviews everywhere. He's been a great coach.
He's an excellent coach.
He
knows what to do.
He flipped that defense from worst to basically first.
Yeah.
And then you saw, Kellen Moore's getting interviewed everywhere for head coaching jobs, even here in Jacksonville. I think everyone agrees Dan Quinn's a great head coach. Kellen Moore's probably could be a good head coach, but it's all comes down to Mike McCarthy sitting there on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Folding his hands, not doing anything.
And this is how I know. Well, I wouldn't call Dan Quinn a great head coach because he got fired for a reason, right?
Because he had a 28-3 lead on Tom Brady at one point.
But he's a great DC.
Phenomenal.
He probably could be the best DC in the NFL if he could stay at a defensive coordinator position. But he's a good head coach, right? He'll get another job this summer, I'm pretty sure, with the Denver Broncos or somebody.
He going to Denver.
But you can tell Mike McCarthy puts a lot of faith in him.
Yeah.
Because if you watch that game, bro, I've never seen a coach. It can be 4th and 3, 4th and 5. Not even tempted to go for it. You're punting it because you have that much faith in your coordinator.
Yeah.
So you could tell who really is the upper hand on that team. I think it's really Dan Quinn's. He runs a lot of stuff for that team, man. So
and it seems like those players actually talk to him and believe in him.
Yeah. And if they would have won that game, it would have been for him. He would have been the sole reason why they won that game, because the defense and his Mike McCarthy putting his faith in him would have won it.
Yeah.
So
because if I told you before the game, Dallas is going to hold San Francisco to 23 points, and they're also going to get a turnover, you'd be like, oh, Dallas should win that game. Yeah. At home, they held them to 23 points, which is very respectable, and you created a turnover. They should win that game. And of course they didn't, because that offense came out absolutely sluggish. Kyle Shanahan's just a better coach. That front seven, even with Fred Warner and Joey Bosa going down, that obviously hurt them, but Armstead was still able to get back in the backfield, sacked Dak Prescott a couple of times, and he was just off. Yeah. He didn't even get going until fourth quarter, and he's like, all right, well, I guess I got to try to give this team a little extra lift and try to pull it through at the end.
That's why I kind of fall back on Kellen Moore, and I'm kind of hesitant about him as a head coach, because I noticed throughout the season he did call some lackluster games. Right? Yeah. He called some very good ones, but when he showed versus
winning teams,
he struggled mightily. Right,
Arizona. Denver's even a mid team, but they were down 30-0 to them at one point.
Yeah, so
Carolina they kind of struggled with too.
And I noticed he doesn't utilize running backs. Now it did come out that Zeke had a PCL sprain or whatever. He had a bad knee, but you have Tony Pollard in your backfield. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he probably got 5.
Pollard's
touches.
Better than Zeke at this point.
Yeah, he's the more explosive back.
Absolutely,
you can utilize him more. You can lean on that, right? Lean on your run game. They didn't attempt to even lean on the run game at all. They just try to give it in Dak's hands. I get it. You paid Dak all this money, right?
You paid Zeke all that money.
Exactly. So you really got to look at, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, CeeDee Lamb didn't have any touches till like the second half.
He had like one catch for, I think, 21 yards.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like,
he had that one nice catch, and that was
I think Kellen Moore needs to look himself in the mirror this offseason and be like, okay, what can I do to be better as a coordinator? Because I don't think he's quite yet ready.
I don't think he is either. That's why I didn't even have him in my top 5 coaching candidates.
That's on me. I'm saying, I blame myself for that.
It's good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think he's a good OC.
Yeah.
Good. He's really good. He's obviously got an insane amount of talent around him, but my thing with the Dallas Cowboys, too, outside of the undisciplinary play and the 14 penalties, which tied a franchise record, I think, or broke a franchise record in postseason, which is... And the thing is, also with these penalties, not a single one of those, you could have been like, man, that was kind of a bad call. No, it was all blatantly obvious and just completely undisciplined play. And almost everywhere you look, except for Dan Quinn and that defense, because they held San Francisco to 23, even though they got ran on, you'd be like, okay, Dak didn't have a good game. The offensive line didn't protect him that well. The receivers didn't do anything outside of Amari Cooper really getting that one touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Run game was literally non-existent. I think they had 13 combined rushes from Zeke and Pollard, which is on Kellen Moore too. Mike McCarthy, what are you doing? Bad play call at the very, very end of the game. Just everywhere you looked, like, there was somewhere to blame.
Yeah.
There's like 6 or 7 different things you could blame this loss on.
And also that fake punt. You know,
that was weird. I mean, I thought that they were gonna fake it, but they stood back.
Yeah, well, no, they completed the fake punt, right? And then it was weird because I guess they thought that Kyle Shanahan was gonna panic and rush his players back on the field.
He's like, nope, wait.
Yeah, we're gonna wait, and then like the ref didn't set the ball. It was just weird, you know. So I guess like at some points, the refs kind of like messed up a little bit, but. It's kind of like, bro, like, waste your time out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Like, you didn't use them in the fourth quarter anyways. Outside of like
closing it off.
Yeah, closing it off. So you could have used one timeout, I guess. But I don't know, man. I mean,
Mike McCarthy's trying to outsmart Kyle Shanahan, but it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, we can talk about the play.
Yeah, I want to talk about the play now because I just briefly mentioned it.
Yeah.
My thoughts, as soon as Dak took off, and I could tell it was a design QB draw. I'm like, that's it. This game. Before he even slid down, before anything, because I'm like, he's not even running towards out of bounds.
Yeah.
Not even giving himself an opportunity. Like, 14 seconds. Come on, man. No timeouts.
So I get the play. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I look at it like that because, okay, cool. It makes sense in this way, but you got to get down faster. You got to get down faster.
So it was 2nd and 1 at the 41. Take 4 or 5 yards. You save yourself 3 seconds right there instead of running to the 31 or maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Get down. Yeah. Then you have a better opportunity for you save a couple seconds and the ref can catch up to you. Like, it's just
so I say get down faster, and it's hard to say that as a fan because I'm not in the game. I'm not in an actual situation.
Yeah.
You want to do as much as you can for your football team because if you get that off, you have 1 second left. You have a very, very good shot to actually run a play. It don't got to be a Hail Mary. It could be actual play design. Yeah. You know, so I get that. But at the same time, get down faster. But even if you were going to do that, find the ref. Yeah. Right? You can't. This isn't backyard football. You just can't give the ball to your center.
And they know that. They literally know that. But I understand the adrenaline going through. You're just thinking like
you gotta find that ref.
But that is being unprepared, right? They talk about they practice this in practice. Okay, well, every time I go to the Jags practice, because I know NFL teams do this, there's referees officiating at practice when they do drills and whenever they do like these 7-on-7s and they get everyone lined up. They're doing the same exact thing like they would do in game. They snap the ball, they hand it to the ref, and they do their 2-minute drills in practice. It's the same concept. Like that is being unprepared, and that means you didn't practice it enough, or Kellen Moore, whoever's calling that play, is not thinking
and, like emphasizing. Okay, we got like you got to like what's the word? I mean what's the word?
Assertive.
Assertive. Yeah, you got to be assertive with it. You got to like if you look at the replay, kind of the players are kind of like walking around a little bit before we actually like clicks in the mind. Like, okay,
I got to get it to the line.
Yeah. So easier said than done, I guess. Right? I mean, but at the same time, it was.
The play call from the start was bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, go.
But if you're a Cowboys fan or a player, you can't blame the refs and you can't blame that play, right, on what happened on the cause of the game, because you had multiple opportunities to change the game around. Like I said, the 49ers literally tried to get the game away. That drive that Jimmy Garoppolo threw the George Kittle.
Yeah.
If he didn't drop the ball, it would have been a fumble. You know what I'm saying? He had another play where they threw it across the middle of the field to Debo Samuel. Trayvon Diggs did a nice break up on that, but they got legal hands to the face.
Legal hands to the face. So it was a third down, too. So
you had plenty of opportunity throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? So if a play comes down to that, if a call does,
like, all right,
that means you shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Is the reason why you didn't win.
Yeah, and people are blaming the ref not so much for getting in the way, for not being there in time, right? Yeah. They're saying, like, well, look at the separation. Yeah. He's like 15, 10 yards
Low-key,
back.
I thought...
Why do you...
Oh, go, my bad.
No, why do you expect a ref for in this one situation to treat your play and your team differently than the entire rest of the NFL the entire season? That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Refs aren't full out sprinting doing that. So and then Dak sitting there after the game talking about, oh, the refs ran to the locker room really fast. Yeah. Every basketball and football officials, they all run straight to the locker room after the game. They do that. Yeah,
they have meetings. You know what I'm saying? Are they trying to get away from fans, or they're not here to congregate? You know what I'm saying?
Their job is done. Their 60 minutes is up. Go. They all do that. And then he was applauding the fans too for throwing trash. And I'm like, Dak, come on, bro. You got to do better. He's better than that. And he said it again. Yeah. He like stamped down on it. He was like, hey, like.
I'm not blaming the refs on that game. I get it, though. It's right after the game. You're upset. You lost a game you had no business losing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I get it, right? Yeah. You failed. You're 1-3 in the postseason. You have the same record as Tony Romo. The Dallas Cowboys.
Blake Bortles still got more playoff wins than Dak Prescott.
Exactly. We got the Jaguars have more playoff wins than them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. It's the frustration of your team can't get over the hump.
I get it, too.
But... no, bro. Like, that ref, I'm pretty sure the ref probably was like, in his mindset, he probably had no bad intentions. He probably just thought, like, okay, this clock's gonna run out. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone knew the clock was gonna run out. Yeah. Why are you calling a QB draw with 14 seconds and no timeouts? The play called from the start. I don't care if Dak Prescott got the first down, just took 5 yards instead of 15 and went down. It's still a bad play call.
Yeah, it's a bad call.
You know, you being 35 yards out versus 47 yards out is really no different.
Yeah.
You're still he still has the arm talent to get the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. Plus, the chances of them even getting some kind of miracle 30 yards out is still slim enough.
But if it's 20 seconds left on the clock, then by all means, it would have worked.
20 seconds. There we
14, go. That's pushing it, dog.
You pushing it. There is no way Kellen Moore, whoever called that play, thought to himself, oh, we can definitely get down in time and spike this ball. He's like, this is going to be like either hit or miss. He's thinking that to himself, calling this QB draw.
I mean, you put the ball into your franchise guy's hands, and I get that, but I think he probably thought that was going to get down a little faster.
He probably did. I mean, I would have told him, take the 5 yards. It was second and 1. Just take 5, 10, not even
get
10.
past the logo at least. But you got down to the damn 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You running.
Why are you running,
and the 49ers had no intentions of tackling him. Nope. They just, okay, well.
Just back off.
And because that's going to fall down at the ground anyway, so you know he's not going to make it to the end zone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, it was bad. But only, like I said, and we'll wrap up that last play statement by saying, yeah, you can't blame the refs on the Cowboys' mishaps for their penalties and on that last play. The only playoff game I can think of off the top of my head as of recently that you could blame the refs on was, 2018 AFC Championship game, Jags versus Patriots.
Yeah, that was
some BS.
That was a crazy game,
we won't even get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, also Rams and Saints. That
my God,
that changed the NFL forever.
That was just as bad, probably.
It is, but okay, we're gonna keep tracking along with the Dallas Cowgirls.
I want to give one more thing.
What's up?
Shout out to the 49ers though.
Oh, for sure. We didn't even credit them. We didn't even credit
give them credit. Kyle Shanahan showed us. He showed he's a good coach.
Great coach.
Great defense. Jimmy Garoppolo still, but
he wins them games.
Yeah, he did enough.
Games. Yeah, he did enough.
So shout out to them.
Definitely. And like I said, I had San Francisco winning this game. I knew Dallas is gonna fold like they always do, and sure enough, they showed their true colors, man. But
shout out to them, man.
Shout out to the 49ers fans, man. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna stay on track with Dallas. Mike McCarthy.
Oh,
everyone's been talking. Is he gonna be gone? I think he's on a 4-year contract. Jerry Jones had given him after Jason Garrett had been relieved of his duties. Is Mike McCarthy going to return back as head coach this season? And is he going to be the future head coach for this team moving forward?
Yeah, man, they met with him, Mike McCarthy. I saw something about a report today. They met with him. I think he's going to stay there. But he really has to look himself in the mirror and, You know, like
reevaluate.
Like the things that haunted you in Green Bay, they're creeping back up. Mm-hmm. You know, like you were known for an undisciplined team. You know, a team that always came up short, right? You're going to year 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even say you're exceeding expectations because you should be this good. You know, you should be the kings of the NFC East. You're just about better than every team in that division. You know, with the talent you have, right? You are losing a lot this summer, possibly with Michael Gallup. You know, Leighton Vander Esch, Randy Gregory. But I feel like some of those guys are very replaceable, you know?
Oh, 100%.
The draft picks, you know what I'm saying? So
they're not going to feel too much of a hit from a guy like Gallup walking out the door because they still got CD and Amari.
Yeah, Amari. They might trade away Amari. Who knows?
Yeah, he's on an expensive deal.
I do think they need Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy need to look at that roster and say, okay, well, we got to look at Zeke. Is Zeke still that guy? Do we believe that Zeke is worth this? If not, try to restructure his deal or trade him, right? If CMC can be in trade talks, I'm pretty sure Zeke can, right?
Yeah.
So you got to get something out of that. Mark Cooper, possibly. Who knows? But yeah, this was Dallas' chance, man. I'm very disappointed. I'm a Jaguar fan, but I like the Dallas Cowboys because my grandfather, before he was a Jaguar fan. He was a Dallas Cowboys fan before the Jaguars got here. But, you know,
how about them Cowboys?
Oh, man, I'm just disappointed, man. Cowboys? Like, this is like how you have all this talent and you fall for sure. You don't even make it past the second round. I mean, first round. I mean,
one and done, baby.
Oh my goodness, bro.
That's what Dallas is all about, being one and done. Just one and done.
What do you think about Mike, though?
I think Mike will return back as the coach, but I think the Dallas hatred in me wants him to return back as the coach because everyone knows Mike McCarthy's not getting this team over the top. You can't do it with Aaron Rodgers. You did it once with Aaron Rodgers, I should say.
Yeah.
You're not, and you alluded to it, some of it's creeping back up from his days back in Green Bay. He's not making this team a championship contender. They can be great in the regular season. They were 6-6 versus teams outside of the NFC least. 6-0 versus the NFC least.
Yeah.
But 6-6 versus other opponents.
Yeah.
Whenever the time shines brightest for them to put on the best Dallas Cowboys performance, they fall short. Arizona, Denver. Thanksgiving was an absolute beatdown of a performance, basically.
That was a heartbreaker. That should have told us right there.
That right there told me when I was watching that game,
they're not ready.
They're not ready.
Yeah.
They're a good regular season team, and Dak's great. And I think this was even before Michael Gallup had gone down, because Gallup had...
I think he got hurt.
When did he get... Was it that game? Was it Thanksgiving?
He got hurt against Arizona.
That's what it was. He tore his ACL on that touchdown. On that touchdown, yeah. So this was even before then. I'm like, their roster stack, I know this, but I'm like... The Dallas Cowboys are just not going to get it together. But Mike McCarthy, he's going to return. But I give him, what percentage do you give him of actually being fired? Because we got to consider, what if Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn end up leaving and getting head coaching jobs? If that's the scenario. Which one of the two is more than likely going to go somewhere.
That'd be Dan, if anything, yeah.
It probably will be.
For sure, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, even if one of the two or both of them are gone, I doubt both of them return next season. If head coaching jobs actually open up and they take that position,
they're taking them. Yeah.
Mike McCarthy's going to be left high and dry. Then we're going to really see his true colors and see, how can he develop this team. But I give him a 50% chance of being fired. Like if Jerry Jones is really, really big into Dan Quinn right now, so.
Do you think he might promote him? And
he might be like, all right, Dan, welcome in. Mike, you're gone. But I mean,
I think Mike gets one more year.
I think Mike gets one more year too. But Jerry Jones knows he ain't getting no younger.
Yeah,
Jerry Jones. Even as much as I hate Dallas, like 99% of Americans do, that's not Dallas fans.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Jerry because he is the richest sports franchise in the entire world. The entire world, an NFL team that's worth $5 billion. He's been the owner for as long as I've been alive, and even before I was alive in 2001. And I think that he's actually a good guy. I actually genuinely want to see him fulfilled. Before he leaves this earth, I want to see him get another ring.
Yeah.
He deserves it, man. But the Dallas, hatred in me is just going to be like, I hope Mike McCarthy returns so that they can just be another one and done. Maybe they get a playoff win if they get a bad matchup with a bad wild card team that just sneaks in. But if they play any good opponent, they're not beating them. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I think I can't even say they need the pieces because they have everything in place. This is a Super Bowl team.
Look at that team. That team should be competing with the Rams and the Bucs and the Packers.
They just need to look themselves in the mirror, man, and take this as motivation. But next year,
they've been doing that for 27 years.
But next year, this team is gonna be kind of bad. Like not bad, but
they're gonna still win the NFC.
Holes.
They're still gonna win the NFC East.
You think so?
Next
year when they're healthy with that defense and the talent they got offensively with a new quarterback possibly.
I won't definitively say that. Let's see what coaches are there.
But they got a good shot. They got a good shot.
Oh, they definitely got a good shot. I mean, look, they're still gonna have Dak. We'll just assume Amari, CeeDee, maybe Zeke and Pollard, Carson Schultz, Dalton Schultz.
No, Dalton Schultz a free agent too.
Is he?
And they don't got no money, Brent. They ain't got no money.
No, they've been. Oh man,
Brett, they ain't got no money, Brett. They ain't got no money.
Jerry Jones is capped out. He's maxed out.
They pay all their money to Zeke.
And didn't they trade
in Dak, bro?
Yeah. No, they cut Jalen Smith also earlier.
Smith.
They paid him the year before. Yeah. He deserved that money, and then they were, you're gone. They literally cut him.
I mean,
Packers picked him up.
They can't bring back Randy Gregory either.
No.
Unless they do like some, like the NFL is like an infinity cap on some of these teams. Like the New Orleans Saints, for some reason, they can sign anybody that can come back, right?
Tampa Bay,
Green Bay, you know what I'm saying? They're in cap hell too.
Yeah.
But, so we'll see. But as of right now, they're in cap hell. So
Dallas is...
They're in a bad situation.
I don't even know where they go, because even a coach right now, I don't think is going to get this team over the top, because I'm just not a believer in Dak. Like, Dak is good, but he's not a guy who's going to put the team absolutely on his back.
I think he can, man. It's just
not versus an elite quarterback. I know we're talking different conferences. If I put him up against Josh Allen, if I put him up against even Lamar Jackson or Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, hell, Jimmy G, because the 49ers are a good team, but I just can't. Even Kyler Murray, if Arizona would have played Dallas, Arizona's beating them. We'll see. Well, whatever. That would have been a dookie fest.
That would have been a slugfest with two teams. I think Dallas would have won that game because they would have. Because the way Arizona came out, it was terrible.
You see the way Arizona came out and played them last time around.
That is true.
I mean, we'll see. But I mean, what percentage? We'll end it on this. What percentage do you give Mike McCarthy returning next year? I say 50. He's 50-50 for me. It depends on what Kellen Moore and
85, 90%. 85.
He's returning
90%. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too confident.
They're in a tough situation.
Yeah. But all right, we're gonna actually transition now into the divisional round. Our predictions. We'll go game by game. Obviously,
you don't want to discuss? We forgot to mention
who
we can put it in there, but the Chiefs versus Steelers.
No, we didn't talk about.
I want to say this.
Okay. Shout out Big Ben. That's all I'll say. I got nothing else to say.
Forget Big Ben.
Screw that game, bro. No one cares about that game.
I gotta say one thing though, right? And I was talking to this on my podcast, on the ChillTakes podcast, with my boy Tony, and we're talking about that game because, of course, it was a snoozer, right? In a sense, that second half, but that first half, man, the Steelers defense kept them in the ball game, right? And I think the most important person was TJ Watt.
Okay.
And you're looking at someone like that, a perennial franchise cornerstone elite pass rusher, right?
On track for a Hall of Fame career.
By far, right?
Yeah.
22 and a half sacks this season.
Tied the NFL record.
Yeah, he's probably going to be better than his brother when it's all said and done.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He will be.
Yeah. But you look at someone like him and how he affects the game and how it took a whole half of football for the Chiefs to really neutralize him. You're like, damn, man. You're looking at for the Jaguars in their case. So you have two supposed elite pass rushers in Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson, dog. And if you compare that up with Josh Allen on our defensive line, man, with all these quarterbacks, with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, all these young quarterbacks.
Don't forget Carson Wentz.
Even the average guys, Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, even the average guys in the AFC, you got to get somebody to get after the passer, man.
Yeah. And stop that running game, set the edge, man.
Myles Garrett, yes. I mean, all those type of guys, man. And you're looking at someone I think the Jaguars. We'll talk about it later down the road. But this game kind of made me okay, I think we need to get a pass rusher, man.
And I'll briefly say this before we kind of transition into the divisional round. I'll briefly say this. So I just posted a video yesterday, 2 days ago, on who the Jaguars should take with the number 1 pick. And I leaned a little bit more Thibodeau, right? Thibodeau's got the higher ceiling, much higher ceiling than Hutchinson, but he's got a significantly lower floor. Hutchinson off the gate, coming into this rookie season, and even probably for the first couple of years, is probably going to look like the better player, and he might be, because I think his athletic ability and his finesse moves is definitely something that's going to help him a lot. But Thibodeau's athleticism and his strength and power is way more prominent
Yeah.
than Aiden Hutchinson's too, right? And it depends on what team takes him and develops them correctly and puts them in the right system. But the reason I leaned more defensive end and taking a pass rusher than taking Evan Neal, number 1 overall, nothing against him. He's a great offensive lineman. But having a premium edge rusher in the NFL are slim to none. And pairing that up with Josh Allen coming off the edge, if he can stay healthy, we are going to have a nasty duo for 10 plus years.
Absolutely.
And then you beef up the D line even more. Then you beef up the secondary because they go hand in hand. That's why I lean more with that. And the thing is, even though you can get decent defensive ends and D tackles late in the draft, the best of the best are always in the top 10. Always. Myles Garrett was the number 1 overall pick.
Facts.
TJ Watt was a high draft pick as well. Top 5, thank you. I couldn't remember what number it was.
I think he went 2.
Was he 2?
Because he came out the same
I know
year
he was really
high. Kyler Murray and them. So, yeah, he was number 2. He was in the same draft class as Josh Allen. Our Josh
2018.
Allen. Yeah. So he was number 2 overall, I believe.
Was he 2? Wow, because Kyler was number 1
or 3, but he was 3.
I think he was 3
because
I think there was a quarterback right after Kyler.
No, after Kyler, the first quarterback off the board was Daniel Jones, and
at number 6. They took. Okay, but point is though, having a absolute dominant premium pass rusher are slim to none in this league, and I think if the Jaguars can learn to develop Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau, even though I lean Thibodeau a little bit more, the Jags are going to be great defensively sooner than later. The future's bright, especially with Cisco out there.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm going to cap it off with this on why I believe that, because you look at teams like the 49ers, the Washington football team.
Yep. Chase Young, I didn't even mention him.
Yeah, they focus so heavily on defensive line. You know what I'm saying? They don't got a quarterback. Now, of course, the Washington football team haven't been beneficial of that as of late. But last year, they made the postseason with a broken down Alex Smith.
Great defense, yeah.
Great defense and Tyler Heineke. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the 49ers. I mean,
they put up a dogfight versus Tom Brady.
Yeah, the 49ers, this is their last draft, was their first time addressing the quarterback situation. Outside of that, they went to go pay for the guy, Jimmy Garoppolo. They had Alex Smith. They had Nick Mullins, you know what I'm saying? They struggled, of course, but they built the defensive line. They emphasized on DeForest Buckner, Eric
before
Armstead.
He got traded.
Yeah, before he got what's that dude? D Forest, I believe. I forgot his name.
It was D Ford.
D Ford. Yeah, D Ford. Yeah, D Ford. Boza. You know what I'm saying? Like Greenlaw. You know, they emphasize on their defensive line.
And
so
we had that not that long ago.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I think it's time for us to do that, and it starts off with the number 1 pick and getting Hutchinson or Kayvon. So that's my takeaway from the Steelers and Chiefs game.
And the only hesitancy that a lot of Jaguar fans have is like, we don't want another draft bust pick for defensive line. Because I think Evan Neal's the safer pick between all of them. You for sure have your left tackle of the future or right tackle, wherever you want to put him, to protect Trevor and bolster that run game. And granted, we all want to protect Trevor and have a great offensive line, but games are won in the trenches, and if you have an elite pass rush every single week you can count on, and you can drop 7 back into coverage and you can just blitz 4, you are going to be a phenomenal. That is something 99% of NFL teams would kill for. Even though they strive for that, they'd kill for that. So topic for another day, but that was I completely agree. That's why I'm leaning more D-line.
I mean, they call the 49ers defense during the Super Bowl run the rushing 4. You know what I'm saying? Because they can literally just, they don't have to drop, they don't have to send no extra pressure. Nope. Their front 4 gets the job done. So, but that's my thing.
No, I got you. All right, let's head into the divisional round. First game. All of these games are actually rematches from this year. We got Tampa versus the LA Rams, Green Bay versus the San Francisco 49ers, Cincinnati versus the Tennessee Titans, and the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills as well. So we'll start off in the NFC going with Tampa and Tampa Bay. Yeah. I can't speak English. And the LA Rams. Whatever it is. Something like that. But we got the GOAT versus the Rams, man. Who are you taking? And give me kind of a little preview.
Man, can we go against Brady? Can we count him out? I'm never counting him out, dog. I've counted him out 20 times, and he's proven me wrong every time. I'm going Brady.
Okay.
I think they get the job done. I mean, championship DNA, championship blood.
Defense showed up.
Bear is back.
Eagles, but
Fournette's coming back. Sean Murphy-Bunting should be playing as well.
Rojo's a game time decision.
Rojo's game time decision. And I think for the Rams, of course, they came out on fire on all cylinders against the Cardinals, but the Cardinals played terrible.
They were horrible.
They played so bad. We're not even talking about it.
Tom's not playing like that.
Yeah, Tom ain't Kyler Murray. And no diss on Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray has a bright future, but this is the GOAT.
No one's Tom Brady.
35 playoff game wins. 7-time champion. Matt Stafford got to buckle up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because
he got one on his resume.
Yeah, and plus you got a motivated Brady. He lost to them already.
Yeah, in SoFi. Yeah. This time it's in Tampa. It's going to be rough. It's definitely going to be rough. But I'm taking the Rams in this game. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to go against Brady. Yeah. But, man, if Tristan Wirfs ain't there coming off that edge and they got Leonard Floyd or Von Miller, maybe Aaron Donald when they switch him out and they put him off the edge sometimes. If they can get to Brady in 2-3 seconds, it's going to be a long day for Brady. And they don't got to blitz more than 4. They can drop back 7. And this defense, I'm not worried about Stafford messing this game up. I think Stafford's going to be actually, if I had to predict, I think he's going to be 244, 1 touchdown, game manager the whole game. He's going to have one nice drive where he puts the ball in the end zone. But the Rams are going to try to chew that clock with Cam Akers and the way he came back and bounced back, coming off that Achilles injury. And they are don't let Tom Brady have the ball. We're going to chew this clock. And, yeah.
It's hard to beat Brady at his own game, though.
I know. And Brady's seen it all. Yeah. Brady's seen it all. So it's hard to go against him. But I'm going with the Rams in this game, man. Okay. I really am feeling actually confident. I'm not even, too worried about, Brady and the Bucs. They got AB and Godwin. It's a whole different story. I'm picking Brady. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like the Rams are just going to run it down them for some reason.
And Brady hasn't lost a playoff game since his last game at the Patriots.
And that was that pick 6.
I believe he's I want to say he's
5-0.
5-0 since Tampa. Then. He's probably 6-2 in his last 8 playoff games. Yeah. Some crazy like that. I mean, I can't count him out. But I give you. I do acknowledge the Rams have a good defense. Yeah, I give you that. What you about to say though?
I was about to say, imagine the narrative if Matthew Stafford gets his Mickey Mouse win versus Arizona.
Yeah.
And then just gets absolutely obliterated by the Buccaneers. If he throws if he throws a pick 6 or he has 3 turnovers and the Rams lose by 3 scores and it's oh my God, Matthew Stafford is a fraud of a quarterback. Imagine that narrative if that happened.
It sticks with him. I mean, he's just a guy that just a great. He's a Hall of Famer more than likely. I mean, he did a lot for the Lions. I think he'd be a Hall of Famer.
That's debatable. It's debatable.
He has better
Phillip Rivers got numbers. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
Come on, man. That's debatable.
Bro,
it's debatable.
Yeah. We'll talk about during the offseason.
No, offseason.
Yeah, but for sure. Yeah.
Debatable.
You think Eli's a Hall of Famer?
Oh, 100%. He beat the GOAT twice. Come on, man.
Okay.
His career went straight downhill, but come on, man. Eli's a Hall of Famer.
Is Cam a Hall of Famer? Because Stafford has better stats than him.
No, Cam's not a Hall of Famer, no.
Okay.
I had to sit here and think of oh no, he had 3. He had 1 amazing season, 3 good seasons, for sure. And then it was I
give you that. We'll talk about that later on.
Topic for another day, but
for sure.
Back to the Tampa Bay and the Rams.
About Stafford, I mean, yes, if he comes out there and he falls flat on his face, it's definitely the narrative continues, and it very much well could happen. I mean, but you just can't turn the ball over versus Brady, man. You go out there and you show your behind, man, it will come back to bite you.
And it's crazy, man, because Brady turned the ball over 3 times at the NFC Championship game last year and still pulled it out. That's can Brady just...
That's what I'm locking in on, man.
It's impossible for him to lose.
I'm locking in on Todd Bowles, bro, because I don't know if he'll be a good head coach in the NFL. I mean, he'll get a shot more than likely.
I don't want him in Jacksonville.
They don't want him in Jacksonville. I think it's just like I said before. I think just some coaches in the league that are just elite at coordinators.
Yes.
Leslie Frazier's a hell of a coordinator, a DC coordinator, right? I think Todd Bowles is another excellent coordinator. Dan Quinn. Yep. But I think Todd Bowles, man, he's really circling this matchup you know what I'm saying? We're going to bounce back. I mean, I got all my guys healthy.
It's time.
I think they're ready, man. I think they're going to beat them by at least 10.
Give me a final prediction. We'll do a final prediction for all these teams.
Yeah, I got the Buccaneers 24-14.
24-14. Rams getting hold of 14?
Yes.
Okay. This is tough for me to say because I'm betting against the GOAT, and I'll probably eat my words looking back at this, but I'm actually confident in this game in the Rams.
Okay.
I'm actually I feel pretty good about the Rams, but I'm gonna go out on a final score and I'm gonna say Rams pull out this one 27-21.
Okay.
Rams get it done. And I'm not saying Matthew Stafford has a great game. He's just going to be...
That's good enough.
Good enough. Mm-hmm. Please just make a couple of the throws when we need you to make the throws, but otherwise just do not turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. We should be good. Mm-hmm. This is going to be I guess, low-scoring game for both of them, considering if I'm saying 27-21, but Tom Brady's going to struggle in that first half. I'm calling it right now. He's going to struggle in that first half. Second half, he's going to come out firing on all cylinders, though. So I got Rams winning that game. Let's go on to the other NFC matchup. Green Bay versus San Francisco, a rematch of the 2019 NFC Championship game. I think it was 2019.
When everybody went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The 49ers did against the Chiefs.
No, it's 2020. It's 2020.
Yeah, these years.
It's 2020. COVID ruined everything. 2020. Yeah. It was 2020 because Patrick Mahomes won in 2020, the Super Bowl. Green Bay, San Francisco. Who you got? And give me a little preview, like always.
It's also a rematch from the regular season matchup they had earlier this year when the 49ers lost by a game-winning field goal. You gave Rodgers literally no time, and he still won, So shout out to probably the best quarterback in the league right now.
That's my GOAT.
I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's in Green Bay, it's in Lambeau. I think with the 49ers, bro, you can't come out against this Green Bay team and expect to try to suffocate them. This Green Bay team can score. They're disciplined. They're a well-coached team.
They can throw it in that cold weather. Jimmy G, the ball's back in your court. I mean, it's time for you to deliver again. I mean, I hate to say it. I know it's unfortunate, but you're getting paid all this money. You're still the guy right now. You've been playing good these last few weeks, but you got to go out there and do it again. And he understands that for sure. Mm-hmm. He definitely understands that. He gets that. He's gonna have a better game, I think.
Yeah. Kyle Shanahan gets it too. I don't know the injury report with Nick Bosa because he left. The
and
game
Fred Warner.
And Fred Warner, he had an ankle, and Bosa had that concussion.
Yeah.
So who knows what their game? I'm pretty sure
they're probably game time decisions.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens with that. But man, this Packers team is healthy again. I mean, they got Jair back.
I think he's coming back. Yeah,
Rasul Douglas playing some good football. They got
that week to rest and prep, man. They needed that.
The only thing stopping them is that bye week.
Yep.
I think they handled business. I think they beat them by at least 2 scores.
Yeah. Oh no, the Green Bay is gonna. They were my Super Bowl pick. And to come out of the NFC, I think they were your pick out of the NFC also. Green Bay is gonna come out here and dominate this game. Now
I would hate for Rodgers to go out there and just fall flat on his face.
Man, it would just break my heart because I think all of us love Rodgers, man. But the only shot I see San Francisco winning this game, because I don't even see Rodgers or the Green Bay offense turning the ball over. I don't. Even with that good San Francisco defense, because obviously Fred Warner and Bosa, that's both game time decisions, is if San Francisco just runs 250 on them. If they run 250 on them, they got a shot.
Management for sure.
They definitely got a shot, and they will. Kyle Shanahan's going to do everything in to get Elijah Mitchell and Debo Samuel that ball coming out of the backfield. He's going to do that. But I just think Green Bay's offense is just going to come out and just dominate this game. They're going to win this game. I'm going to say 37-17. 37-17. They're going to come out and whoop up on some San Francisco. No disrespect.
Yeah, I agree with that. I say about 31-17. Yeah. I think you said 31-17.
I said 37-17.
Ooh, that's
I think Green Bay gonna.
That's a butt whooping.
That's an ass whooping. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I said 31-17. I think if the 49ers have a chance, yes, if they can play, control the ball. I mean, Kyle Shanahan will mess around and hold that ball all game if he could, right?
Yeah, they got a puncher's chance if they go over 200 rushing.
Yeah, for sure. But they have to have someone outside of Mitchell and Debo to step up. Got to be someone like Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, or Kittle. Didn't have a great game. We didn't even mention him.
Can we talk about him real quick?
Yeah, go on.
Where has he been?
Yeah.
He's so off and on. I thought he was the best tight end in the league. That's what people told me.
Hell no, bro. Hell no.
The boy in KC always show up. He always shows up.
When it matters the most, Kelsey's always there.
For sure. Kyle Shanahan has to figure out how to get this man involved. I mean, I get he's a great blocking asset. He's an extra lineman. I get that. But you got to go out there.
Mark Andrews might
leave it all on.
Mark Andrews is more consistent, I think.
He might be.
That's debatable.
But Kittle has to have one of them Kittle games. I mean, you got to go for 140 yards, 140.
I need to see a dominant performance by George Kittle before I start losing some faith in him and be like, your time coming, old man?
For sure. I mean, he's still relatively young, but it's kind of like, it's like, come on, dude. Like,
you got all these young guys coming up in tight end. Like I said, Andrews, Darren Waller over in Vegas. like they've got some
Kyle
ballers.
Pitts. I mean,
Pitts. Yes, I didn't even. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at now, you are going against a better secondary, in my opinion.
Much better.
Than talent wise for sure. They don't thrive off turnovers. They play sound football, right? I mean, you got a better safety and Amos. You're matching up with Darnell Savage.
You sure about Desmond King?
Kevin King might not see the field.
Kevin King might not see
You got Stokes out there.
That's a Desmond King. That's another player.
You talking about Houston?
Yeah. I'm thinking that's the wrong King.
Yeah, for sure.
Kevin King.
Yeah. But
we saw what happened last year in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, someone got to step up, man. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, special teams played by the punt returner. I forgot his name. Travis Benjamin. Someone got to step because Debo and Elijah Mitchell are going to be contained. So
they're going to do They're going to do
They're going to do the job, but someone has to be that third piece to say, okay, boom. Someone showed up with this, with the collective group, So that's my thoughts on this. So.
I'm basically the exact same way too,
sure.
I think it's still going to be a blowout regardless.
31-17, 37-17.
Yeah, 37-17 for me.
Gotcha.
All right, let's go on to the AFC now. We're going to get into the Titans and Bengals game. Both been great seasons for both of these teams, and it's been really impressive what the Titans have done, even though we have a hatred for them. It's been impressive what they've done this year without Derrick Henry, and they're getting Derrick Henry back for this game. And A.J. Brown, I think, is coming back. Julio came back a couple weeks ago, so trying to get him back into rhythm. So, Cincinnati, Tennessee, talk to me.
Well, I want to say one thing. It's very impressive that Tennessee was able to get the 1 seed still this year.
Crazy.
After all the stuff they've been through, the injuries, they still were able to maintain that. So shout out to them. It runs through Mid-City. So we'll see what happens with that. But they're getting healthy, like you said, Derrick Henry. It really depends on him. If he is at least 85%, they might handle business for sure. But it depends because now you have Ryan Tannehill who has weapons on the outside now. He has Julio, future Hall of Famer, A.J. Brown, excellent young guy, a couple other pieces around. But this team with the Bengals, man, if it gets into a shootout, I like the Bengals to keep up.
Yeah.
For sure. They got the talent. They got the receivers. But it's going to be whose defense. I think I'm going to take the Bengals because they have the better defense. I think they're going to get a key stop when it matters. That Titans
defense. That inexperience too?
I think so, man, because that Titans defense is still, they got in a slugfest with Houston, to close out the season.
They lost.
They lost?
No, you're talking about, I was saying Tennessee lost to Houston.
Yeah. Tennessee beat Houston.
But, okay, Houston beat Tennessee, and Tennessee is what I was thinking of. You're thinking of Tennessee beating Houston the last week.
Yeah, and they struggled.
We were getting the two games mixed up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But they struggled in that game. It took a lot.
Yeah, it came out of the wire.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like, you look at Tennessee, okay, you better hope the first round buys in, like, the bad in this, Cincinnati's finally getting off the emotional playoff win, the 31 vacancy, so they're getting off that. Now they're about to play football. I think Joe Burrow is ready. They're playing in the cold. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's not like you're playing in, like, Green Bay.
I think offensively they're more talented because they're deeper. They have a deeper receiving core. They have a good running back.
Yeah.
It's all about the defense for Tennessee. If whoever defense steps up, that Bengals defense is pretty good.
Yeah,
man.
No, it definitely
Hendrickson,
is.
You got Jesse Bates, you got Cheetah Bay-Awuzie in the back end. You got Eli Apple playing better football now.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened when he first came into the league. He was a no-show in New York.
It turned on for him.
And then literally just, it finally hit him.
Yeah.
I think Vernon Hargreaves in Cincinnati.
He's there.
He stepped up finally. Like, I was waiting for him his whole time out of Florida to step up and never did. And then he went to Cincinnati and turned it on too. So they've got great defensive pieces too. I'm taking Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm going with the experience, not so much because I don't think Joe Burrow and them's ready. I think Joe Burrow is ready. I think he can take that next step. But and it's not even so much the home field advantage. Cincinnati or Tennessee doesn't really got a home field advantage like that. But Derrick Henry coming back. Derrick Henry's coming back. That's the thing. Yeah. If there was no Derrick Henry, even if they got AJ Brown and Julio back, I'd be like, okay, Cincinnati should take care of business and win this game. But if they got Derrick Henry, even at 70%, Derrick Henry's the best running back in football. Yeah. You can talk about God, I'm losing my
Jonathan
Taylor. Thank you. I'm like the other guy, not Christian McCaffrey. Thank you, Jonathan Taylor. I'm just taking them. Vrabel.
He's a hell of a coach.
Yeah,
man.
He probably should win Coach of the Year. I really don't have much else to say. Tennessee should win this game. Tennessee's probably going to win this game. I won't say it's definitive because Cincinnati offensively can keep up with anybody, right? If they even get to the Chiefs game in the AFC Championship game or Bills, they can keep up with them. I'm not worried about that. I think the Bengals can, but I've seen it from Tennessee. I know what Derrick Henry and the Vrabel and them can do. Yeah. I do think Ryan Tannehill is a fraud when it comes down to it most. Like, I think if he needed to put the team on his back and take like a 2-minute drill and take his team down the field to win the game, I don't trust Ryan Tannehill. But no, this team is the better team. They're the more experienced team. Tennessee's going to win this game. Give me a score prediction, though.
I got Bengals 21. My bad. I got Bengals 24-21. I think they win a close one.
24-21?
Yeah, Bengals. Now, I like how you mentioned Mike Vrabel and the coaching because I think he's definitely a better coach than Zach Taylor. But I think this is Zach Taylor's time to prove himself. I mean, everybody's been doubting him all season. They're still kind of like, This
will be a big win for him.
If he wins this game, I think this really like changed the narrative about him. Okay, I think the Bengals have a solid head coach. Yeah. Right. So we'll see.
No, definitely.
All right, 24-21. What you got?
Okay. I think it's actually gonna be a low scoring game. I got Tennessee coming out 19-13. I'm taking like field goal.
All those weapons on both teams.
Yep. I'm like they're gonna be able to control the clock. Both teams like however they need to. I think both teams punch it in once, but I think that both these defenses are gonna hold each other when they need to on those third downs, put them in a situation, hey, take the points, get the field goals. Take the points, get the field goals. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game.
That's how a lot of those games go. Like, we think games are going to be like 30-30, 31-35, something like that, but it'd be the flip side. The whole defense, both defenses are making key stops over and over again. Right? So
you wouldn't think Dallas would have scored 17 like going into the game.
That's facts. So
you'd be like, oh, that high explosive offense. So you'd be like, oh, they're at least getting 24.
Yeah.
That's what they all would have needed to win. But,
for sure, yeah.
But let's go on to the better matchup between the Chiefs and the Bills. Two teams that definitely have Super Bowl aspirations heading into the year. Chiefs and Bills, man. Talk to me and give me your winner at the end.
Another rematch. They face off each other in the regular season. The Bills won that game on the road in KC. So they've done it before. Last year's AFC Championship matchup. They were up 9-0 in like the second quarter, but the Chiefs won on a crazy run. We all know that picture of Stephon Diggs just watching the parade. Yeah, not parade, but celebration. Hey, bro,
can you take this picture of me real quick? All right, cool.
I'm gonna look emotional.
Yeah.
But team's definitely motivated. You can tell like after that Patriots game, man. The Bills have been very clicking ever since, right?
Sean McDermott turned it was like, hey, get it together.
Yeah, they had a couple slip ups against the Jaguars, of course. The Patriots.
Ain't no slip up. We're better than the Bills. We're better than the Bills.
But yeah, I mean, like I think Sean McDermott has some boys going. Same thing with Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City looked rough too.
Yeah,
both teams look rough during the season.
Kansas City was 3-4 at one point.
Yeah, I mean, after that Giants game, they finally clicked it on. They turned it up the notch.
That defense turned it up, and then they kind of teetered off a little bit of it, but Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones in that defense got it back together. Yeah,
and that's what we saw last game against the Chiefs. I mean, against the Steelers. I mean, the Chiefs' offense could not get going to the second half, but that defense, man. I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't put enough credit on their defense until they really go out there and show their ass, right? When they show their ass, they show their ass. Don't get me wrong. They go out there and
stepped up in San Francisco too in the Super Bowl.
Yes, their defense doesn't get enough credit in my opinion. It's not that bad. They just have to come together as a collective unit and play. And I'm banking on that again. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. They're the kings of the AFC.
The best quarterback in the NFL, arguably.
Yeah, arguably. I mean, kings of the AFC. They're like the new Patriots. You can't count them out. They run the AFC right now. I mean, what?
They will be for the next 10 years.
3 straight Super Bowl appearances will be this year if they go, and it'll
4 straight AFC championship.
Exactly. So. I mean,
and it's at Arrowhead too.
It's at Arrowhead. This team is motivated. Both teams are motivated, man. But I'm going to go with KC, Patrick Mahomes, and Andy Reid. However, if Josh Allen, the Winter Soldier, comes out there again like he did against the Patriots, it's a dogfight. I don't know who's gonna win. I just want to watch good football. I think
this is gonna be the best game. Ooh, I don't know. That Rams Tampa game is gonna be good too, but. This might be the best game of the NFL playoffs, even the Super Bowl. I don't know who gets the Super Bowl.
I think this is going to be the Super Bowl.
This is basically like this might be it, But I'm taking KC at home too. But man, this game is going to go down to the wire. Like I'm talking like the last 40 seconds of this game is going to be like critical. I don't know if it's going to be a defensive stop. Yeah. I don't know if KC, Patrick Mahomes pulls off another impressive Patrick Mahomes like performance and it just does something incredible. I think. This is going to be a high-scoring game, as much as we want to talk about the defenses. Josh Allen's going to have a good game. They're both going to throw 300 plus. Both are going to have good performances. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm leaning the Chiefs. Bills Mafia, it's, you know...
If it was in Buffalo, it would be easy.
I think if this game was in Buffalo, I'd lean Buffalo. But, man, like, I just... Kansas City, man, I don't know. But if I'm right and Kansas City wins this game and Tennessee wins that Cincinnati matchup, we're going to see Patrick Mahomes on the road for the first time in the playoffs. We're
going to talk about it,
I mean,
sure.
I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes going to Tennessee. He'll beat Tennessee. But well, yeah, story for another day. We'll see if that even happens.
Yeah.
But versus this game, I'm taking the Chiefs coming out in this game. Kelsey's going to have monstrous performance.
He's going to put it on, man.
Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire going to do his thing as well.
If he plays. I don't know if he's healthy.
Yeah, they've
been leaning on McKinnon.
Yeah, Jarrett McKinnon.
Yeah.
They've been feeding him the rock. So I'm thinking this is a high scoring game. I'm probably going Chiefs 33, Bills 30.
Ooh,
I think it's
a slugfest.
It's gonna go right down to that wire and that last minute or 2 minute drill, and just see who makes that stop or who punches it in one more time.
I got Kansas City 35, Bills. Buffalo 30, Kansas City 35, the Buffalo Bills 28 touchdown, roughly. Yeah. This is gonna be a good game, man. I mean, it's gonna be a very good game. I mean, can the Bills dethrone the Chiefs? I mean, that's gonna be the question all week, leading to kickoff. I mean,
I think that'll actually be a shocker if they do. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone knows how good they are.
This is also a game I wouldn't be surprised if both defenses show up and it'd be a low scoring game. Because the Bills have a great defense, right?
They do have
and every time the media and us as fans count out Casey's defense, they hold it down, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird, man. They might hold this team on like 15 points. You know, it'd be something crazy. So, like I said, we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. But I got 35-28 Kansas City,
and I had 33-30 Kansas City coming out on top. But this is gonna be a good game. I think this game is whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl. At least they're going to represent the AFC, in my opinion. Sure. One of these two is going to represent the AFC.
They'll be battle tested for sure.
Most definitely. And both teams, coaches, quarterbacks have been there, done that. I guess Josh Allen, not really, but you know, he's elite. He's a very elite quarterback. But all right, any last words? You got for the playoffs or anything?
Any last words? Let's make a crazy statement, all right? I got a crazy statement.
All right, let me hear it.
Crazy statement. Joe Burrow goes out there against Tennessee Titans and absolutely puts up crazy numbers. I'm talking like 426, 4 touchdowns. Blows Tennessee out the door.
What you smoking? I like Joe Burr a lot.
Joe Shiesty.
Yeah, you've been seeing the nicknames going around, but come on, man.
426.
He's dropping 420 on him.
426, 4 tutties. Oh my God. Handles business.
You know, as a Jaguar fan,
Shiesty.
I'd love to see that. I mean, I think we both would love to see Tennessee just get absolutely blown out, but it's not happening. Joe Burrow's not having some 400-yard day on Tennessee. Mike Vrabel ain't letting that happen.
For some reason, one more thing.
No, good.
For some reason, like, this dude, Joe Burrow, is weird. He's a weirdo, man. He's like Brady weird, but worse. Like, I remember his championship run with the LSU Tigers.
He's a poor man's Brady.
Yeah, and he might be a middle class as Brady.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this dude is weird, dog. I mean, his LSU championship run, bro, like, he'll put up godly numbers and not be fazed by nothing.
And he's just like, yeah, it's
just
cool.
chilling, like, oh, yeah, that's what we expect. Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, bro, you just went 14 and had the best college season ever. Bro, what do you mean?
What do you mean you expected to throw 5 touchdowns to Justin Jefferson?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, congratulations on your first playoff win versus the Raiders. How did that feel? Oh, that's cool.
I like that, though. I love that.
I respect that.
I love to hear that because that means that he's not like with the, like, we're as a team. They know this is a regular thing. And I hope we, as Jaguar fans, can see that with Trevor in the future because it should be a regular thing. You should be in the playoffs every season with this.
Yeah, or at least competing for the playoffs every single year.
Facts.
You know, so hopefully, but
go ahead, give me yours.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think just my crazy thing is Goats losing this week.
Ooh, Goats losing.
Like I said, the Goats losing. Stafford, I'm not saying he's going to even be phenomenal and outplay Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's going to be locked in that second half, come out and do Tom Brady-like things. But this Rams team, especially if Tristan Wirfs isn't there on that offensive line, man. I think it's going to be a huge detriment to Tom Brady in this offense. We don't know how healthy playoff Lenny's hamstring's going to be. He'll probably get some snaps, though. Rojo, we'll have to see. And just Brady's going to do his thing come second half, but I got the Rams in this one. That's my crazy thing to end it off.
Gotcha.
But Darian, ChillTakes, thank you for the great show.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, you guys go follow him as y'all see down below as well. I'll put all of his links in the description as well at ChillTakes on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube as well. And my Instagram at the Brett James. You can find me on YouTube as well at the Brett James as well. But thank you guys for stopping by the show. We'll get the podcast out this week, and we'll have another one next week coming out, recapping the divisional round and maybe some NBA talk as some things heat up as well. Maybe some trades or whatnot. Hopefully, because there's nothing going on in the NBA this week. That's why we didn't discuss it. But thank you guys for tuning in for another episode this week, and that's it, y'all. Don't overthink it.
Yes.